Hey guys, how's it going? It's Nick here from the Sun Standard. Today we are here with the preview of our round 12 match against Essendon. So we face off against Essendon this week in round 12 of the 2024 AFL season. We are back at home at People First Stadium Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock for the twilight game. We've had a really strong start to the season, especially when it comes to playing at home, where we are undefeated so far this season, which we will need to keep this home form up if we are any chance of being a part of the finals this season, which we obviously all know we want to be a part of. But I'm sure this season will be okay if we just miss out, but we need to be there next season 100%. When it comes to our previous meetings with Essendon, the record is currently sitting at 5 wins, 1 draw, 8 losses, which that 1 draw was a 73-all draw a couple of years ago, I think 4 years ago, Don't quote me on that, but it was a 73-all draw. It's not a very good record. However, we do hope to make it look a little bit better after this weekend, where we will hopefully notch up a very strong win against the Bombers. However, Essendon do have star players everywhere, but I think we can shut them down, and if we do, I think it will put us into a very strong stead of winning the game comfortably. Those players that I think we need to shut down are the 3 crucial cogs to their team, I believe, which is Nick Martin, Zach Merritt, and Jake Stringer. And you might be thinking they are the most obvious choices you could have put. I was thinking about putting Jordan Ridley, but he's only came back for 1 game and yes, played well. But I think if he comes back, he'll have a little bit of a harder game against us. So I'm not going to put him in there yet. Maybe when it comes to round 22 and he gets a bit more consistent games and he's performing really well consistently, I might chuck him in there for the preview when we verse him in round 22. However, for now, it is Nick Martin, Zach Merritt, and Jake Stringer. Nick Martin was coming off a career best season last year and has continued that form going into this season. Let me just quickly see what he is averaging on the AFL app. I should have been a lot more prepared than this. However, it is what it is. So we'll quickly have a look. Can you search for people in here? I don't think you can. So let me just go to the Bombers. Players. Nick Martin. So he's currently, Nick Martin, he's rated elite for disposals. He's averaging 30 disposals per game, which is crazy. And yes, he takes a lot of kickouts, but you know, that's neither here or there. You still get quite a lot of chances of getting the ball. Sometimes there's only 8 behinds in a game, so there's only 8 chances of disposals, and Nick Martin doesn't take every kick out. So a lot of these disposals are during actual game disposals, and his effective disposals is 22, which puts him at 72% disposal efficiency, which makes me think that Nick Martin is the guy to shut down. Now, he doesn't play in the midfield. In my notes, I haven't put someone to tag Nick Martin. I just think we need to shut him down whenever he gets the ball going through with it. So, our press needs to be good. However, looking at this, we might need to put someone onto him. Maybe a Sam Flanders has to go and be on Zach Merritt, and it wastes a forward spot because Nick Martin mainly plays half back. But, I think he needs to be stopped if he's averaging that. I didn't think he was averaging that. I knew he was having a really great season, but wow, that baffles me. Anyway, let's go on to the next person in Zach Merritt, who is also like Nick Martin. And this is who I've put my tag on for this game, Zach Merritt. I feel like if we are going to tag anyone, I'm not sure if Dimmer will choose to get anyone to do a tagging role. However, if he does, I did want it on Zach Merritt because he plays predominantly in the midfield and racks up possessions like Nick Martin. He's averaging 29 for the season, which is insane. With a 69% disposal efficiency, which means he gets 20 effective disposals out of those 29 he averages each game. So, yet again, whether or not you maybe put Noah Anderson into a forward role this game and then bring Sam Flanders up into the midfield just to play a tagging role on Zach Merritt, and then maybe get Noah into the midfield when Merritt is on the bench or something. I think he's the one that needs to be tagged. He's going insane, just like Nick Martin this season. I think we all know how good those two are, but the Essendon team is also extremely well versed this season and well drilled. So just because we can shut down these three players that I mentioned doesn't mean that the others are gonna slack off. I think they've got a really good team, and just because we tag them, this is just our best chance of winning. If we take their key players out. The third person that I have put down is Jake Stringer. Now, he's coming off a 4-goal game last week. It was obviously his milestone game. It was against Richmond, who isn't the best opposition. However, it was a really close game last week, and it gives me real confidence as a Suns fan to watch that game, because I watch every time we have someone the next week, I always go and watch them the week prior to see where we can expose them from. And looking at how Richmond played against the Bombers, it shows that we can beat them. They were still getting beaten in the midfield, but their defense showed up, and I feel like we do have a good defense. So if our defense can hold up, as well as it'll be a strong midfield battle, but just edging it out in the midfield, I think we will win the game, especially if our midfield game is up. So Jake Stringer, we don't really care about his disposals. It's more about his goals, wherever they are. Come on, scoring. So he's averaging 2 goals a game this season. His scoring accuracy is actually a bit of a letdown. It's currently 48%, but he is averaging 2 goals a game, which is insane. If you think about it, so as long as we can shut him down, and yet again comes back down to our defense. If we can defend the ground beautifully and defend our D50 perfectly, I think it will stop Jake Stringer. They'll find it hard to get goals. They've also got Carl Langford down there, and Peter Wright. So they, just like us, have a very good forward line as well, and there's a lot of targets. But Jake Stringer, after the last couple of weeks, has been the one to go to. Peter Wright hasn't had the best season, and Carl Langford, especially comparing his season this year to his season last year, is nowhere near the levels that it was last year. So yes, they are still good, but they're also not in the best form compared to their previous seasons. Jake Stringer, however, coming off last season, is having a terrific year as well. And yeah, so I feel like it'll be a strong midfield battle. Whoever wins the midfield battle, I think, has the best chance at taking home the win. But yet again, we both do have strong forward lines, and it may also come down to how good the defense is for either team. If the midfield battle is very tight and it's a bit of 50-50 in there, it then goes down to which team can defend not only the ground better, but the D50 better. And I think on the field, I believe we may, and this might be biased, but I feel like the Suns have a better defense. We've got Mac Andrews having a breakout year, especially against Carlton last week, where the team significantly dropped off their form. And I don't know if it was because we were coming off the 2 games in Darwin, like we always do. We always lose the first game after Darwin, maybe because we just don't recover properly. I don't know. But he was a standout against Carlton, really stood up in the defense, took the best forward in the league and shut him down until he got taken off of him and put into the ruck, and then we all know what happened from there. And then we've got Sam Collins, who is the chief down there. He just absolutely bosses that defense around and makes it really solid. And we've also got Charlie Ballard, who is a strong interceptor marker. So that's going to be vital. But speaking of the midfield, as I've said multiple times already this week, we need to bounce back this week in the midfield. We were outworked, outclassed last week against the Blues, and I think it was quite clear. Everyone's talking about it. We just didn't have the fitness to keep up. We weren't winning anything. We were winning the tackle count and the free kick count, but it's neither here or there. It's the umpires, not us. We can't control that. But every other KPI we can. The only KPI we're winning that we can control is tackles, which is insane to think about. So even though we were getting outworked and outclassed, our tackle pressure was still good, which is a positive to see, because a lot of times after the Darwin games, whether or not just we can't recover fast enough, we just wouldn't have the fitness to keep up, and our tackle pressure would not be there. And those games against Carlton after Darwin wouldn't be a 29-point loss, which was a close 29-point loss. If you really think about it, it would be a 50, 60, 70-point loss back a couple of seasons ago. So it's really good to see that even though we are being outworked and outclassed, we don't drop our head. We can still keep our tackling pressure, which is really good to see. And speaking of that, I don't think Dimmer will make any changes to the midfield. There's not really many changes to make unless you bring in a tagger. We know Alex Davies can play that tagging role, so if Dimmer does bring in a tagger, maybe he brings in Alex Davies. But I think if Sam Flanders is fit, he won't make any changes. Maybe put Sam Flanders as a tagging role, as I said, move Noz up to the forward line. We know how deadly he can be in the forward line. And rotate when possible. But this has been the video, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification bell so you guys know every single time I upload. If you do want to support the channel and help me make this a full-time gig, make sure you guys go and donate. It's not a must. Obviously it's a cost of living crisis at the moment here in Australia, so I don't want to make you guys spend anything you can't afford. If you guys can afford it, please do. Everything that gets donated will just go straight back to the channel in better content, better videos, better background, and possible giveaways as well. So if you guys feel like it, please donate. It will mean a lot. But have a good one, guys, and peace.